Hey everyone, it's your fantasy football commissioner Bennett back with another recap in our Forest Land Mishmash Fantasy Football League, this time week 12. And the playoff picture is getting a little clearer for some and a little bit more muddled for others. So, first of all, hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving and got to spend some time with the family and eat some food. And of course, I have some members of the Fantasy Football League in my family as well. So it was great to see Matthew and Sarah Forrest on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. And we got to spend some time together, and I even managed a little smack talk with Graceland. So here we go. So let's talk about week 12 as the Slim Aussies are really taking control of the league. They scored the second most points, tied for second most points, and they're the first team to clinch a playoff spot at 10-2 with 2 games to go. And they faced, unfortunately, the fast sinking Graceland, who was at one point 6-3, I believe, and has now lost. Actually, they were 6-2 and have now lost 4 in a row to fall to 6-6, and really take a drop in the standings with her low point total. So as you can see, 71 points is pretty much as low as you can get. And a couple things were just a little bad luck with being at a party when AJ Green and Devin Funchess were listed as inactive, so didn't have time to replace anyone there. Of course, having Kenyon Drake would have helped in there, and Demaryius Thomas would have helped as well in last night's game. But nonetheless, the biggest thing that hurt the Graceland this week is having Pat Mahomes on a bye. So a little bit of luck for the Slim Aussies. They did get 185 points, so I have nothing to apologize for winning. But a confluence of things did not help Graceland, and she ends up with only 71 measly points. Didn't get too much from Deshaun Jackson or the tight end Ben Watson either. And the once high and mighty Seahawks defense only got 2 points. So just an all-around tough break. And even without Mahomes, still struggled. Or even if they would have had Mahomes, they still struggled to score points. The Slim Aussies, meanwhile, are very super consistent, although Melvin Gordon got hurt after his 2 touchdowns sometime in the third quarter, and he is out for at least 2 weeks, could be 4 weeks. So my most consistent player, one of my most consistent players, and really the theme of my season has been consistency all year, but not much depth, here's where it's going to shine through because Melvin Gordon's out at least 2 weeks. So thankfully I was able to clinch a playoff spot and can just hope Melvin Gordon gets back in time for the playoffs. But he did get 20 points, and as you can see, everyone except the second tight end, Evan Ingram, for the Giants got at least double-digit points. And with Brandon Cooks out, had to put 2 tight ends in. Again, Slim Aussie's not very deep. Somehow have survived all these bye weeks with a good record. So Slim Aussies get 185 points and go to 10-2 and clinch a playoff spot. Now, we did have some other really close games, and I think I mentioned it before that it seems like the Cartel, the Stallions, and the Travelers have all just swapped close games and I guess have had their fair share of wins and losses based on those close games. We had the Stallions defeating the Travelers, and this was a big win for the Stallions because Travelers had a chance to go to 7-5 and really put a beating on the Stallions. Would have been 5-7, but the Stallions win their third straight game. Just not quite enough from Keke Coutee on Monday night, who needed 12 points to overcome the Stallions, but only got 2 catches for 3 points. I think he had like 20 yards or something. Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz, decent, back on track after I think having 0 from Wentz last week. Aaron Jones was pretty good, but Rodgers and Wentz just, mediocre, but not great, and just not enough scoring all around. Tyler Boyd had a great day. Every time I looked up, he was scoring points. And the last bye week really hurt because you have Gurley and Kelsey on the bench with a bye. So Keke Coutee needed to carry the team, and that didn't happen. So the last bye week of the season really hurts the Travelers. The Stallions win 3 in a row. That 4th and 3 game-tying touchdown pass by Russell Wilson was amazing. I mean, what balls it takes to throw a 47-yard pass on 4th and 3 when you're down with 3 minutes left. He did that. Nothing from Alvin Kamara, just a measly 9 points. But the Stallions win 3 in a row and get 160 to 152 victory over the Travelers, and they're both 6-6. More on that later. We also had another fairly close game with battle of the top 2 teams of the MASH division, and Third and Oolong edges out First Down Order with 180 to 165 victory. Matthew Stafford is just terrible and couldn't do anything on short rest against the Bears on Thanksgiving. Christian McCaffrey was nasty. I mean, look at this. He only had like 2 touchdowns, but he had 125 yards and 1 touchdown, but he also had something like 11 catches for 112 yards. So that's another 23 points. So even though he only got 1 touchdown, 11 catches from the running back and almost gets 50 points. Could have actually had a better day had he scored a touchdown more or 2, but that was counterbalanced by First Down Order, 41 points from Amari Cooper on Thanksgiving Day. But just not enough from these 3 players at the top. Blake Bortles, who I don't know if he got benched before the end of the game, but is benched now. He only had 9 points. David Johnson on the disappointing Cardinals, just not getting it done. He's only had, I think, 1 or 2 good games all year. He's been fairly steady, but just not the stud that you want, just considering how bad the Cardinals' offense is. Couple bye, and First Down Order also suffered with Tyreek Hill on a bye. That didn't help. So Third and Oolong takes a slim 1-game lead in the MASH division, and they are one of only 2 teams in the entire league that's over 500. We had a couple not-so-close games. Let's talk about the Travelers. No, we talked about the Travelers and the Stallion. Let's talk about the Cartel and the Colon Cleansers. Colon Cleansers have been scoring a lot more points lately, but still only have 2 wins to show for it. 150 points is definitely respectable. And Leonard Fournette I didn't realize he did that well before he started punching, getting into a fight. So I didn't realize he had gotten so many points, but he got kicked out of the game for punching some Bills player in that big fight. And then, the pick from Ben Roethlisberger at the very end didn't help. But the Cartel continues to be deep and consistent. Juju Smith-Schuster just catch after catch after catch. He had a 97-yard catch, which even if you take that away, still had 12 catches for almost 100 yards. But when you get that 1 touchdown catch with the 1-point bonus for 50 yards plus, that really helps your line. He got 40 points, so I think we had 3 different 40-point players. You had Saquon Barkley. He did nothing in the second half, but yet got 36 fantasy points. Mariota, very mediocre last night, but did have a long touchdown pass and I think some runs. So Cartel continues to be a little bit of a tough luck loser. They are 6-6 and do have the second most points in the league. And they're probably the most dangerous team on any given week. And they get 197 points. And the Colon Cleansers, close but no cigar, they get 150. We've got, I think, one other game, which was Ray Finkel and Show Me Your TDs. Show Me Your TDs gets 185 points, only going to 4-7-1. But they do knock the Finkels back to 500, so that was a beneficial win. I'm pretty sure they're out of the playoffs, so they're just playing for pride. And of course, you had Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins. I'm surprised they haven't gotten more wins with that combo all year. They've been great. Even though Hopkins, I thought he had a lot more catches than that. He only had 5 catches last night. I'm a little surprised. T.Y. Hilton was great. Keenan Allen was great. Just consistency all around. Baker Mayfield, look at that. He's been great, at least in the last 2 games. So 185 points might be a little too late for Show Me Your TDs, but they do get the win. Ray Finkel with a big 0 for Tyrell Williams. Alshon Jeffrey didn't do much. Vance McDonald didn't do much. And, Kareem Hunt and Goff on the bench. So 2 really good players on the bench. Still got 21 points from Lamar Jackson. So that wasn't necessarily the killer. Just not enough points overall with the players that started. So as promised, we've got to look at the standings. And as we see, with 2 weeks to play, simple math, the Slim Aussies are in the playoffs, clinched the division, and even clinched the number 1 seed. And then we've got the rest of the Mish division at 6-6, and of course it's all divvied up by tiebreaker by points. So if you look at points for, again, Slim Aussies do have the most points in the league, nothing to apologize for, but only 9 points more all season, but yet 4 more wins. So again, Cartel with a little tough luck, same with the Travelers. And to a certain extent, the Stallions have had a little tough luck too. They're all 6-6. Graceland is going to have some work to do because she's down by points. She's going to have to win outright. So the Travelers and the Cartel are in real good shape for a tiebreaker if it comes down to that. But you also have third and Oolongs with a one game victory lead over First Down Order and Ray Finkel's Kicking Academy, who's only about 30 points behind. So even Ray Finkel's got a shot at the playoffs. So 2 weeks left to play, a lot to play off. Nothing's been settled except for the number 1 seed. And I wish in real life or in fantasy I could rest my players, but I'm not going to. I don't have to worry about my contributing to them getting hurt. But of course, in real life, they could get hurt, as Melvin Gordon did. So we'll see how that plays out. If the season did end today, we'd have the Cartel facing the Travelers in the 1-4 matchup, and the division winner, Third and Oolong, facing the always dangerous Catonsville Cartel. So thanks for listening. It's been a great season. We have 2 more weeks of the regular season left. So good luck to everyone not in the playoffs yet. And keep putting your lineups in, keep checking the waiver wire, and have a great week.